Hello, guys. Hello, 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 hello. Happy Memorial Day. Yes, happy Memorial Day. Yes. So, anytime you guys help me prove a point, I point it out. It's only fair, right? It won't take long. It won't take long. So it was said that they couldn't learn anything from me, right? And I'm pretty sure that's because of two reasons. One, if they can't learn the basics from school or from the most elementary teachings, then they're not going to be able to learn anything from me. And two, because you don't like me, you're going to say that you don't learn anything from me, although you try to quote what I say, the few things that you can pick up that's simplified enough just for you to catch, right? Which is simplified to like a second grader, you know, that a second grader can understand. But how I know that it's not the truth that um, people don't learn from me. Well, heaven, I hate to say it like that because it'll make it seem like I'm putting myself up, but we learn from each other. So let me start by saying that we learn from each other. Everyone has a certain skill set, and if they decide to share that skill set with us, then we are enriched that much more, right? Or if we just sit back and observe, and I'm an observationist, we can learn, right, from each other. So let me make sure I say that. Anyway, so you have to know, it's some parts of me I just can't turn off. And I'm not interested in turning it off. Right? It would probably require a process of just turning some things off. Okay? That's just like if you talk to most police officers, most detectives, most attorneys, physicians, anybody with a specialization, anybody with a special skill set, it's just hard to turn off. So I'm always evaluating and testing. And if I say something, I usually break it down or whatever. It's just the natural process and how I do, because of how long I've been teaching, and I've come from a line of people who taught, right? That was one of their skill sets. My grandmother told them, you can go to college for whatever you want to specialize in, but make sure you get a certification in teaching. Because if your specialization don't work out, you can always go teach. right? So now I can't teach K through 12. I would have to get a certification. I teach college. All right, K through 12 teachers usually have to have at least a master's now and that certification in education, right? But y'all know that. So I just noticed something that, I'll be scared to say something, child, because, they turn shit on you. Honey, but again, I'm just going to have to be me. I don't have to get along with nobody. I don't have to like them. They don't have to like me in order to give credit what's credit is due. That's just me. And I'm different from y'all. I have no problem with that in saying that. I'm just not like that. Okay? I'm not going to sit up here and be scared to say something, whatever, because they're going to use it against you in some kind of way that it doesn't even make sense. Right? No. I say something, you use it against me fucked up, or you lie on me, I'm going to tear your motherfucking ass up. If I choose to. I might just save it. And do what I always do. Prove that your ass is lying. But anyway, there's some sick motherfuckers out here. Sick. In the goddamn head. And they don't never challenge me when I say that. They get upset. Oh, you call her name, call them because yeah, I'm talking about your ass. All you have to do is ask me, are you talking about me? I'll tell you. I ain't never been the one to hold my tongue. I held my tongue out here because I realized where I was, and I've realized that people get offended so easy by the truth. That's why they tell so many goddamn lies. But no, I ain't doing that. Fuck you. If fuck you get mad, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? You best believe I ain't calling the cops on you. I ain't calling the cops on you. I got something real for that ass. Ready and waiting for you. Anyway, let me get back on track. Y'all do this to me, child. I be, going and starting off right and good and nice and sweet and be thinking, having flashbacks and shit and just, child. Ugh. Lord. Anyway. And y'all don't be afraid to embrace your truth. Okay? If you ain't the scum of the earth and you don't belong here, it's alright to say that. And you ain't got to act like your, your peers in order to belong, right? Because this ain't nowhere you want to stake no claims. Like, You crazy? Anyway. So, that was said, right? Over and over throughout the years. And if you're slow and you have a learning disability and all of that, then you're not going to understand what I'm saying anyway. I said that. That's common sense. No one can take you and sit you in a class with regards to statistics. But Google my paper on statistics and see what that score was. And see how it's being used. It's being used to teach others. Tell me I'm lying. I think Randa dug it up. Oh my God, damn. But anyway, I told you I went back to get something else. You know. But god damn. So I'm just trying to figure this out. We've been sitting out here going over mainly the R. Kelly cases. And a few cases as they pop in and out. I think I did decent coverage with the YSL, going over some things with the YSL. So, and you have people who I hear repeating what I've said, right? And that's a good thing. That's a very good thing, right? Because what I said about information, it needs to be consistent with each other. Just like when you pull up something on Google, right? Whether it's wrong or right, a lot of times it's consistent because it is piggybacking off of one, pulling from another source, right? So it's going to have same information, pretty much. Which is how information needs to be disseminated, right? It doesn't need to be to be just all screwed up and people having different meanings for the same word and all that type of stuff. That shouldn't that shouldn't move like that, because that's not how knowledge is really processed. It's not done that way in text. It's not done that way in school. It's not done that way in the dictionary. It's not done that way on your job. Normally it's not done that way in your life, right? So I don't understand why you think it's okay to do it here. I don't get it. You can do what you want to do. But I'm just saying, it is really, it just takes us back, right? When you think about knowledge, a lot of things come to mind, and how people are able to understand, right? You got the laws of logic, right? That's what the laws of identity, the laws of the excluded middle or third, the laws of contradiction, right? You have the law of sufficient reason, which pretty much states that there is a reason that everything in the universe exists. You also have the law of thought, right? The law of thoughts, which is, those are the rules that help shape our theory, right? Our thinking, our thought process. Okay? And then when it comes to the laws of logic, reasoning, and thought, and all of that, right? That you're also running parallel to epistemology, right? Which is the study of the theory of knowledge. Okay? So, and there are several other laws that touches upon psychology, philosophy, and of course epistemology, right? Sociology. So it doesn't stop there, but those are the ones I can just think of right now. In order to understand anything, you have to have a degree of what? A degree of understanding and comprehension, reasoning, logic. There's no way around that. When those things are limited by a disability or whatever's going on in your head, you're not going to get it. Now, because you don't get it, that don't mean you blame the person that is unable to make you get it, teach you, or learn from, or whatever. Because one, that ain't my job. That's not what I come to do. Come to have conversations and dialogue, break some things down, talk about the case. We learn something from each other that is great in the process. That's it. But I'm always going to be thinking, well, damn, are they getting it, whatever, especially the ones that are asking questions and things of that nature, because that's just a part of my nature. That's a part of my skill set. I'm always going to feel that way. You understand? When you're talking to your children and they ask you a question about their lesson, you go over it and then you ask them to tell it back to you, right? That's how you know if they got it. You do that with your students. We played games, we did a lot of stuff, right? So, here's my point. A lot of us been out here since day one. I've been breaking down whatever came about with the case. And I think I made it simplified enough that lay people can understand. And I know I did. You know how I know? Because there are too many people that, one, told me that they learned what they know about the law from me. That's number one. Number two, they demonstrated because they have intelligent conversations with regards to the law. Now, that could be, and if you get the basis from somewhere, you can listen to what I want to call like advanced like channels that speak on the law because they practice criminal law and they're litigators. So they can tell you more or less the ins and the out. But I ain't trying to be funny. I have yet, and people have told me this, yet to find a channel, even the court TVs and the rest of them, who break it down and go as deep as we do. They go, pretty far, but they don't go like deep down like we get into it, right? And if I'm lying, I stand to be corrected. Yeah. They're not going into the elements and the facts and and deep into the strategies and speak about different areas of the law, expound on this, that, talk about the motions as they come up, what they mean, try to, Lord have mercy, we all get hearsay wrong. Judges get hearsay wrong. Hate hearsay. Um, so, but, but there are some channels that will give you a good foundation, right? I'm just saying we tend to get into it, a more because one, pretty much of our environment. Court TV, they're putting on a show. They're at specific questions. They're not really concerned about the knowledge of their audience, right? Well, should I say the level of knowledge their audience is on, right? Can they understand what they're saying? Well, they don't know who's out in the audience, right? Over here it's a little bit more personable because we know each other, right? But anyway, so I just have a question, right? And given those laws I just get read off, right? Why do most people get what I'm saying? And I ain't gonna say most people. Why do some get what I'm saying with regards to law and then others don't? Prime example. We've had people, like I said, we've all been out here since 2019. We've talked extensively about the law probably since 2021. This is 2025. But I've been breaking down what I can break down, leaving, as blockers say, leaving them long as paragraphs, breaking down this law stuff. It's like, I wonder, who the hell is that? Since we got the indictment. Okay. So, on occasion, right, I'll catch people on other people's channels that I am still subscribed to, or someone sends, say, hey, watch this, listen to this, or whatever. And then I hear them repeating what I've said out here with regards to the law. And not only do they repeat it, they can explain it to a certain degree. I'm like, yeah, I don't fuck with you. I'm like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Right? Shit, you got it. Okay? So, the person who said that they don't learn nothing from me on this extra been out here, I think, since about 2019. Some of the others been out here since 2019. And some appear to have it at some point and it just lost it or whatever. And then you can never tell if they lost it or if it's just bullshit they're pushing. Now, I don't know. But I know that girl Carla ain't been out here since no damn 2019. Probably been out here half the time. How come she got it? And you tell me that having a learning disability isn't a barrier for some of y'all. It is. It's going to stop you in your track. So when you hear people bashing education and all this extra shit and acting like education is the enemy, you are the enemy. Your learning disability, I told you, ignorance and illiteracy is going to ruin this world. You just tell me how she got it, how she understood what the hell I was talking about. She understand the testimonies, evidence, because that has been the biggest problem. Because you always say that there is no evidence in the case, and you say that like no one took the stand. Okay? Or no one had another witness that corroborated another witness story. Or there wasn't any physical evidence or demonstrative evidence that supported a fact or element in the case. And that's simply not true. When you hear the reading of the exhibits being admitted throughout the transcripts, that's evidence. That's not testimonial evidence either. It could be digital evidence, documentary, demonstrative, real. Like, I just wonder how she got y'all still, looking crazy. Because being smart or, at least having the ability to reason, having logic, understand and comprehend, having all those things at an average level or above benefits you. Some of us have that. Some of us do not. So if she gets it, been out here half the time, and y'all don't get it, been out here the whole time, how's the problem is me? Y'all will blame me for problems that started between your mama and daddy. It's not me. I ain't talking about nobody's mama and daddy. I'm just saying. Some of my problems started with my mama. Well, yeah, some of my problems started with my mom and daddy. So, listen, we all can point the blame at our parents for something. But a lot of it is on us. Because if you did not take the initiative to stay in school and to learn to comprehend, work on your logic and all of that, they show you how to apply logic to situations. Starting at a certain age, I forgot what age it is, but starting at a certain age, they start you to do that. And it's early enough to where by the time you get to 12th grade, you really should be, should be able to grasp a bunch of information. And I promise you, it seems like some of y'all shit tapped out at the 2nd or 3rd grade. And then, I'm like, you can't learn that from me, huh? Like, that's crazy to me. That is so crazy. They want to go with the same shit, them damn, and we going back to them damn herpes and damn the ages of the people. Of course, crazy is still on the the man didn't get married to the girl, and even though that's in the PSI, we read it. He said it, like he said it, and it's a damn shame that when there's evidence that contradict Audra's crazy ass theories and conspiracy theories and all that shit. Oh, then she just turn the line and then say it's AI or somebody manipulated, whatever. That motherfucker is crazy. But she still be trying. I don't. That's weird to me. That's weird, honey. But yeah. Just help me answer that question. How did that girl get it? And y'all still, like, y'all ain't even on the slow bus when it comes to stuff that we done talked about. But since 2019, that's a long ass time not to get something. That is. Just think about it. That's a long ass time not to get something.